Hello and welcome to the second episode of Podcast Trials. I'm Jonathan Wright and thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to be talking today about starting your own Amazon selling business, what that means and what it looks like, and some pros and cons of various aspects of the business. So first of all, what is Amazon selling? Amazon sells stuff directly through their company, but they also sell via third-party people. This means that these third parties, these sellers, go out and buy things at discount. This means that third-party sellers go out to discount stores and buy things that are deeply discounted, then sell those items for retail prices on Amazon. That's how they make their money. So this business model can be very successful if you do it right. However, let me start with a warning here. Amazon is a really volatile market, and so there's no guarantee that you're going to be making money because you're selling things on Amazon. You need to be smart about how you're doing it, and you also need to be adaptive to the changes that are going on within Amazon's business structure. Amazon is constantly updating the way they run their business, and you are just one very small part of that business. Think about yourself like a flea riding on a dog. The dog will choose whatever he or she chooses, but you need to be able to react to those decisions and change with it. So Amazon changes its algorithms, it changes its policies on almost a monthly basis, which means that you are going to need to change what you are selling and how you are selling it. So the first choice you need to make is whether you want to be affiliated with Amazon, be an affiliated seller with them, or not. What are the pros of being an affiliated seller? Well, that means that you can access the deals that Amazon sets up for its Prime members. It means that your items are listed as Prime eligible. Basically, people can get free shipping when they buy your items. You also have access to Amazon's warehouses. This means that you can store all of your inventory at Amazon's individual warehouses. You pack up your inventory in bulk, ship it over, and that means you don't have to have a large space where you're storing things that are ready to be sold but haven't yet sold. This also means that you don't have to be shipping individual items to individual customers. Amazon is in charge of that. Now there are some downsides here because you're going to be paying fees on these services that Amazon is providing. You're going to be essentially renting space from Amazon for your items, and you're also going to be paying them to ship those items out. I think overall, being affiliated with Amazon can be a very good move, and if you're in this in a serious way, I would recommend being affiliated with Amazon because there is more opportunity for sales there. Things that are Prime eligible are known to sell for higher amounts than things that are not Prime eligible. So the same book being sold by Amazon or an Amazon affiliated third party might be sold for $15, while that same book being sold by a non-Amazon affiliated seller might be sold for $8. So the difference is really that large. So if you're looking for net gains, selling smart as an Amazon affiliate is the way to go. Next, let's talk about buying and selling. So how do you choose what to buy? Basically, walking into a store like Kohl's or TJ Maxx, where a lot of things are on sale, you want to be triangulating three things: the rank, the price point of purchase, and the price point of sale. Let me explain these three. The rank is a number that Amazon assigns to all of its items and all of its categories of toys and household goods and clothing and books, etc., etc. The rank is how quickly that item is selling. A rank of 1 means that is the best-selling item currently in Amazon's store. And a rank of 1,000,000 means it's the 1,000,000th best selling item. So a rank of 300 for a book means that book is probably selling at least dozens of copies every day from Amazon. But a rank of 1,000,000 means that maybe that book is selling once a week or something like that. So that's how rank works, and you're triangulating that with price point of purchase and price point of sale. Now, price point of purchase, this is how much you can buy the item for. You walk into Kohl's and see that item on sale for, let's say, $10.99. That's your price point of purchase. Your price point of sale is how much you can potentially sell that item for on Amazon. So look for the current price on Amazon, and you're going to find maybe you can sell that item for $29.99 instead of $10.99. So that's a pretty good markup. Of course, now you're going to have to factor in the fees involved and also your own time. But in general, a markup of times 3 is what you want to be looking for with any item that you purchase and then sell. You want to see that you can sell it for 3 times the amount that you purchased it for, and you also want to see that it has a low rank, which means it is selling well, it's moving. So that's kind of a guide to how to choose what to sell. But there are some other factors here, such as the weight and mass of an item, the volatility of this item in Amazon store, how much preparation is involved, and whether you can sell this item in bulk or whether you have to sell it individually. Let me go through these real quick. Weight and mass of an item determine how much you're going to be paying for shipping and storage fees. If you've got a bowling ball, or let's say a pool set that has a lot of weight to it and is also fairly large, that means you're not only going to have to lug that thing around when you buy it and when you pack it up, but you're going to have to pay for that thing to be shipped across the country and then to be stored in Amazon's warehouse until it's sold. And that can be kind of expensive and oftentimes not worth the money that you would make on that item. So be careful with what sort of items you want. The smaller, the better. The lighter, the better, as long as it is able to make money. There's also volatility of products. You can sell groceries on Amazon, and sometimes this is a great opportunity. But you need to make sure that seasonal items will be sold in that season. Let's take candy canes, for instance. Candy canes sell really well near Christmas time. But after Christmas time, if you've got 100 candy canes sitting in Amazon's warehouse, those things are going to stay there until the following Christmas unless you do something about that. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. If you're selling seasonal items, you want to make sure that you can get them out of the warehouse by the time the season is over. Let's talk about how much preparation is necessary. Some items require less prep, like books. You can slap a label on a book and ship it off to Amazon. However, clothing requires more preparation. You need to make sure that that a piece of clothing is not exposed when you send it into Amazon. This means bagging it up and making sure it's clean and nice looking so that when a customer receives it, they'll be happy about it. So this should impact the products that you choose to buy and list. Finally, there's listing and buying in bulk versus listing and buying individually. Buying in bulk can be a wonderful opportunity if you are sure that the items you're buying will sell. You don't want to be stuck with 50 or 100 of the same item just sitting in the warehouse. So you want to be sure that its rank is good, that it's going to be moving not just now, but it will be moving next week and next month so that you can have a constant stream of those products being sold. You also want to be worrying about the price point because Amazon does have a tendency to change their price point somewhat dramatically as weeks go by. So that's some on how to choose what to sell. Next, let's just run over the costs involved here in starting your own business. You are going to need basic equipment like a computer, some printers, bags, boxes, things like that. Those things cost money. You will also need a space. Maybe you can do this in your house, but you might need some sort of office or warehouse space in which to prepare the items to be sold and to pack them up. Finally, you'll need some software services, and you might need these for scanning, for listing, and for repricing. For scanning, certain services will give you a lot of information about a product when you scan that product into the software. So scanning a pair of pants into some software will give you not only its rank on Amazon, but other variables and other kinds of information about that item, how it's been selling, who it's been selling to, all that kind of stuff. So you will probably pay a monthly fee for that, as well as listing software, which will increase your ability to list quickly and efficiently. Amazon has their own software, but it's pretty poor compared to the third-party software that you'll want to be using. Finally, there's repricing software, and this is important if you don't want to be manually repricing everything that you purchase and everything that's sitting in the warehouse. So the price point changes for Amazon as well as for third-party items, and you need to make sure you have a competitive price. This means changing it sometimes more than once a day, and you don't want to be in charge of that. So an automatic repricer is probably the way to go here, which also requires a monthly fee. Lastly, I'd like to just talk a little bit about what your vision is for the business, whether you are thinking about doing this as an individual for the foreseeable future, or whether you want to see this thing grow and want to take on more of the position of a manager. So there are pros and cons for growing your Amazon business. If you keep it small, that means that you are in charge of everything. You can maintain a very high quality for your store and therefore a good reputation. You can also use somewhat sophisticated systems for preparing, buying, pricing, etc., because you don't need to pass along this information to employees. But with growing, you can cut out a lot of the menial labor involved in running the business. You can have people going out and buying, and then other people listing products. By breaking down the steps involved in the process of moving an item all the way from being in another person's store to being in your own store, that can also help in terms of efficiency. That's all I have for starting your own Amazon business. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this, and I hope that you'll join us next time on whatever topic I might be discussing. Thanks so much, and see you later on Podcast Trials. Feel free to email podcast.trials@gmail.com or just comment below this video, and I would love the feedback.